Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. This is the live call-in show. This is the home of the money pick. This is where winners get together, where we brainstorm, and where we beat Vegas. And we've beaten them all year this year. We've absolutely slaughtered them and destroyed them. So I want to give everyone just a round of applause here, because we have lots of people on this channel who are betting real, who are putting real money and skin on the line. And it's a beautiful thing, especially when you're patient and you end up coming out the other side of it, because there will be bad weeks. There will be bad breaks. You will get pushes on perfect bets. Those who get discouraged, those who start chasing, are those who lose their money. Those who stay patient, those who stay diligent, those who keep putting in the hard work week in, week out with the patience, end up seeing the dividends. And this station gets the dividends. And a lot of it, listen and seriously, I'll put my subscribers up against any group of subscribers on this on YouTube, whether it's a philosophy channel, whether it's a political channel, whether it's a sports channel. We do the research and we get in the nitty gritty, and we're actually making real money. So listen, it's been awesome. And you guys have even helped me this year. Like, remember that early run this year when I hit the Giants? I was just getting them with money picks like 3 weeks in a row. It was because of you guys. You guys made me take a second look at the film. So I want to give you guys credit where credit is due. This is your show. This is the live call-in show. In about maybe 30, 45 minutes, I'll take some viewers on if someone wants to come on and talk. We'll see how it goes. We are going to have a lot of questions. Lawson, when are you posting your picks on Patreon? I will post them Friday night, tonight, probably around like 10:30. I'm coming with the full player props, and you guys saw how I absolutely destroyed those player props last week. I mean, just I'll give you a little bit of a taste of the player props on Patreon. I had Derrick Henry under. And I had Cam Akers over, and that Derrick Henry under bet, everyone was saying it was wrong when I put it there, but that was under easy. Yeah. So yeah. And make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Soccer bets, I hit with a huge one this week. Listen, just because the NFL stops doesn't mean we can't stop making money. And I want to ask a question to you guys. I'm going to ask it twice, so I don't want to just repeat myself. I'll ask once we get up to our normal like 180, 200 in here. But what did you guys think of the UFC show? Be brutally honest with me. You guys can come on and say, Lawson, it sucks. Lawson, this might hurt your brand. Be brutally honest with me. Does it need to be shorter? Was the length good? How do you think we can get it to show up in the algorithm, just so we can keep some presence in the off season? Like, I wanted to get on and talk about Urban Meyer to the Jaguars. There were some interesting head coaching moves, but I don't know. This is at this point, this is a gambling station, and that's what we keep it. This is a money station. Yes, we got a big week ahead. And you guys know the drill. Antonio Chavez in here. We got Dave Laughlin in here. We got Roy Bruh in here. We got Steven in here. What's up, guys? I got to read this. I'm not doing the push-ups, but I am doing the diet. So yeah, I think my genetics, I was naturally supposed to be a skinny person, but I overeat. Yeah. I listen, I think it's, I think the UFC one, I need to make it shorter, and I probably need to go solo. But yeah, I definitely wanted someone who I felt like knew more than me about UFC on there, but it did drag a little bit long. And yes, like, long form is a good thing about YouTube. We can really get into the issues and everything, but But yeah, so yeah, I gave an opening speech. Now I'm going to get to your questions. Yeah. The haircut, it's not even a haircut. It's just used conditioning in my hair, and it sent it everywhere. Okay, so no, like I need people to be brutally honest. The next time I do a UFC pick, I think I'm going to just go 10, 12 minutes like my normal videos are, maybe 18 if I get carried away and really excited. What's up, Brian? Here we go. Okay. I'm going to get to the Patreon questions first because there's some ones here. I will be having a live stream tomorrow for Patreon subscribers around 10:45, 11 Eastern time. That will be a private link I'll post on Patreon. So let's get to it. Okay. Here's one to start with. Michael Cooper asked, what about Lamar Jackson? Over under 76 rushing yards this week. I'm going to go over, but this wasn't a slam dunk. It was last week when I put it on the player props bets. But listen, he's going to need to do that against Buffalo because Buffalo is a team that can make plays in the secondary when people are passing. But one weakness Buffalo has is in the run game. And you get that extra man when Lamar Jackson is using the read option. So for the Ravens to get the full force, the full extent, the full package out of this running game, they have to utilize Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson has to carry it. And when you look at Lamar Jackson, you look at how great he is, you look at how great an athlete he is, especially, listen, he's due to break one. I'm not saying he's going to break one like last week. That run was absolutely phenomenal. It was borderline once in a lifetime type stuff, right? But let's take with a grain of salt, that was against Mike Vrabel, that was against the Titans. But I still think there will be one big magical run from Lamar, and then you will see the scrappy run. So I think it just pushes over the 75 or 76. But I wouldn't say it's a money pick, but it's definitely one to put on a teaser. I think thank you, sir. Thank you. I try to bring the energy. I was pretty excited about it. I am pretty excited about that UFC 257. Felipe Salinas, I'm a patron, so appreciate the work and time. Any over under that could be played? Yes. Well, do you want me to give it the free? Yeah, whatever. We're past Christmas, but this is a Christmas present. Let me think of the over-unders I liked. I like that Bills over-under 49.5. But, Felipe, just go back to my over-under video because I'm going to be honest with you here, and I'll tell you if it's mishmash week for over-unders, but the over-under video this week I think it was the most confident I've been in over-unders this year. Let me take a look at those for you. I actually liked it. Okay, Baltimore Buffalo over is the one I would go with. And then I did put a few on the teaser. I don't know if you guys saw the teaser video, but I mixed in a few over-unders so we could get a bigger parlay. Like, for instance, on the over-under teaser, these are my two over-under teasers I want you to roll with, okay? Over-under teasers are low-key effective and low-key good. I didn't do a video separately on them this year because I didn't know if there was going to be interest. But we got to dig for what bets we can find since there's only 4 games this weekend. Okay, so here are the over-under teasers I like. But make sure you go check out that teaser and over-under video. Por favor. Ravens, Bills, that 49.5. I want to use the 10-point teaser. I want to knock that down to 39.5. If you go 7, I guess you could go 42.5, and I still would feel pretty comfy. I would still feel like I'm laying in linen sheets if I had a bet on that. So I'm going to bring that Bills Ravens one down to 39.5 or 42.5, whatever your heart desires, and then I'm going to pump that over. Packers and Rams, it's at 46 right now. I'm going to bring that bad boy up to 56, and I'm going to pump that under. Those are 2 ones that should be on any teaser or parlay you have this weekend. And I'm pretty sure I know Bovada, I know my bookie participates. You can do this in a wide variety of places. Definitely think about adding these two over-unders to your teaser pleasures this weekend. Psychotic Rams, Packers under. Yes, I see what you're saying. Andres Morales, Lawson, what's happening, my man? Hello from Colombia. Been making a lot of money from your picks. Thank you, sir. And Colombia's a great country with really, really great people. So I would suggest all my subscribers, if you guys did make enough to take a vacation, I know some of you guys are straight paying bills with this, so I don't want you guys being irresponsible, but if you guys do have some extra money in your pocket and get some extra time, it is worth going to Colombia. It's a beautiful place. It's always on my list to go. The people are awesome. The women are awesome. We already know how that goes. Rodrigo Archega, hello from Peru. Peru. I went to Lima one time for a Brazilian soccer game in the Libertadores, and it was a surreal moment. Because I'm not the tallest dude in the world. I'm like 5'10", 5'11"-ish. When I was walking to the game, like it was like in the city center, and I felt like Shaq. I was so much taller than everyone. And Peru was great. And Peru's got some low-key, really good food. And like I said, really good people. That's the thing about South America. A lot of people sleep on it. And yes, visiting South America, you're going to get some BS. But South America overall is awesome. Not BS from the people. The people are really welcoming, but like just the traveling, the logistics, you guys know how it goes. Ace Gaming, Ravens and Bills over. Yes, I really like that one. I did like that one. And if I missed your question, I have Xavier. He is moderating the live stream, so he will send me any good questions that get missed. Also, if I do miss your question, just be patient and send it again. But don't send it the exact same way. Change a few letters so YouTube doesn't flag your stuff. So I see it, because some of your stuff gets flagged. Psychotic, I do have merch. Go to my post, go to my community section on YouTube. I have some shirts. They're rough designs. They're pretty cool. People said they were actually really dope, but they didn't want my name on the front of the shirt. I got some without. Like one shirt says "I beat Vegas." It's fire. The one shirt says "Money, money, money." YouTube John Lawson. It's pretty awesome. Michael Cooper, I will be posting the MMA picks to Patreon. I will be. Steven, under 76. Who said under 76? We were talking about bringing that Packers-Rams game from 46 to 56. You can do that with a 10-team teaser in about 30 seconds. Okay. Victor Bueno. Brady really losing to the Saints 3 times? Yeah, it was hard for me to do it. You guys know it was hard for me to do it. You guys have been following me the whole year, and I know Tampa Bay has frustrated a lot of people, but this subscriber base has gotten their pockets filled by Tampa Bay Moneyline. I just keep pounding Tampa Bay Moneyline. I watch the people melt down when they don't cover the spread, and then I just keep pounding that Moneyline more. The problem is we didn't see the Buccaneers show up that second game, and it is really, really worrisome. Yes, the Saints have weaknesses. Yes, the Saints are not an elite team, but the Buccaneers have some serious liabilities. Victor, the main reason, it's not about Brady. I think Brady comes out there. I think they move the ball. I could see this Tampa Bay team putting up between 24 and 27 points, but I want to ask you a question. Do you think this secondary of Tampa Bay can hold up? I'll ask it a different way. Do you even think they can get close to anyone? Because they were not close to anyone last week. It was absolutely despicable, and you just wonder, this is a playoff team. This is a playoff team with a good defensive coordinator in Todd Bowles. Why are people running with 6-7 yards of space across the middle? Why is their zone coverage so loose? Why is everyone 2-3 steps behind in that secondary? It's not like the pass rush doesn't do anything. That pass rush is pretty good and pretty consistent. You get a little interior push with Sue, and you got some decent edge rushers who can complement. So that's where I'm at with Tampa Bay. I would love someone to come on the podcast and talk me out of it. If you want to come on, I'll get you on. Just send a message to my Instagram, or just leave a comment down below if you want to come on. Someone talked me out of it. You guys know how hard it was for me not to pick Tampa Bay. But you want to know what bothered me, guys? I'll tell you one thing that bothered me. Okay, we know Vegas is normally right on. Monday morning, a lot of the times I'll make the spreads myself if I were the odds maker, if I was setting the handicap. So I did that. I thought they were going to hit us with a Tampa Bay +5, +6, maybe even +6.5 to give us some wiggle room, to give us some sweatpants to get comfy when we do put in that bet on Sunday. But I don't think we can. And, I also got a lot of stuff last week for picking the Bears. I don't think me picking the Bears was a flat out bad pick if you watched the game and if you watched the flow of that game. It really wasn't. But of course, I'm going to get hammered by it. And it's not even my Patreon subscribers hammering me about it, or my YouTube subscribers hammering about it. It's like family was hammering me about it. Like my dad was trying, I came over to watch the game with my dad, and he was making me feel guilty about it. So yeah, I don't like losing. I do not like losing, but sometimes you'll read it. The Saints were vulnerable. The Bears came out and played pretty good. Remember that reverse pass and then that deep ball, and the guy's wide open and he just drops in the end zone. That completes. It's a completely different game. We got a super chat from Dylan Burke. Dylan Burke stepping up big. Dylan Burke with $5. My guy, let's get this money. Let's get it, Dylan. Love Baltimore. I love Baltimore too. I absolutely love Baltimore this week. We loved them last week. And even the Baltimore one was hard to pull the trigger on last week. Think about it. Because you still have Derrick Henry and you still got the Titans at home, and people are trying to scare us away from it. They're trying to push us out of the way with it. Kind of like with us betting Tampa Bay earlier in the year. People were trying to scare us. They're telling us how bad they were, but we didn't buy it. Okay, let me read the rest of your question. Browns upset alert. Hunt revenge game. Touchdown score +165. Chubb and Hunt too much. Okay. Dylan, let me make sure I'm interpreting your question correctly. So if Chubb and Hunt score, it's +165 odds. I do not like that. I don't want you touching that. There's other props you can dip into. My friend. But if you told me it's +165 for Chubb to get a touchdown, I'm in. As for the upset alert, I'm not feeling it. I am Mr. Upset. I can spot an underdog in a forest, man. We love the upset, and we embrace the upset on this channel, and we've done it all year, and we haven't shied away from anything. This was literally the only channel, ESPN, NFL Network, YouTube, whatever station you want to talk about. We were the only one to hit like Denver over New England. We've hit some audacious and just miraculous upsets this year. The Browns aren't going to be one of them. We don't need to get galaxy brained here and outthink ourselves into a corner. If you're telling me you like the Browns with 10 points, that's a different story, my friend. I will consider the Browns +10, although I'm a wee bit nervous, but the Chiefs just don't cover. Steve Cavallero, not only do I think the Browns cover, I think they can win. That's bold, sir. You should come on and explain why. Don Lemon sends a super chat. Lamar Jackson over 75 rushing yards. Yes, but it's not the slam dunk. Like when I make my parlay prop bets on Patreon, I don't think this will be part of it. I will go over, though, because when you think of Lamar Jackson, you got to think of all the magic. And I'm not saying he's going to have a spectacular run like that play against Tennessee, but he will break one over 20 to 30 yards. And this Ravens offense needs him running the ball. They need him on that read option. It gives Dobbins more space. It helps the offensive line. And then also you have the play action. So there's a lot of things that can happen in this game. And I think Lamar goes over 75. Yes. Not a money pick. I'm like 75% sure on it. Nick Ortega, Bills over Baltimore. I can see it. Hey, but Nick, I'm liking where I'm at right now, because when I did the spreads on Tuesday, Baltimore is like +1.5. Now you're getting odds of Baltimore +3, +2.5 on some books. Baltimore +3 feels pretty snuggy to me, especially when you consider that Baltimore has the better special teams. And this Bills front seven is vulnerable against the run. We know the Bills defense is pretty good, but they're vulnerable against the run. And I think the Ravens have a better defense than the Bills. We know Josh Allen, we know Stephon Diggs are prolific, but Cole Beasley's on one leg. John Brown can't catch anything. So there are some problems on this Bills offense that people aren't really highlighting. Of course, you're going to see Josh Allen go into beast mode. He's going to start running it. They're going to start doing their version of the read option. And Josh Allen's absolutely unstoppable in 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 3s. He literally is like a young Cam Newton. Remember how many times Cam Newton used to move those chains in awkward situations? Sidney Jaramillo, Washington no-names quarterback, torch Tampa Bay. What do you think Breeze is going to do to Tampa Bay defense? Probably about 24 of 30 for 298. Michael Thomas gets about 6 catches, 86 yards. Listen, we can't trust this Tampa Bay secondary, and they're spoiling the party. You know how much I wanted to pick Tampa Bay this weekend, but we just couldn't. I have to be responsible. And Mac Jordan, I lost a lot of money on the Bears. Yeah, you didn't deserve to, because they came out and played good. It's just, you know how that went. I mean, you could have caught that catch in the end zone. It just was ridiculous. Rodrigo Arciaga. I'm probably pretty close to that last name. Taught me into doing straight bets. Well, the proof is in the pudding, to use an old Southern slang. The proof is in the pudding. Look at my record on Moneyline bets and Patreon this year. And of course, people sometimes will complain about the odds, but they're all winners. They're all in like Flynn. I mean, for instance, I'll sell you on it. Okay, I know you probably don't have the biggest bankroll in the world. Hell, I don't know your situation. You could be a millionaire right now. I'll give you an example. I bet $4,000 on Tampa Bay to win on the money line against Washington. Bet another $2K for them to beat the Atlanta Falcons. And I've been doing that a lot this year. Last week, I got a little bit skittish about the Ravens game near the end. So I just said, screw this spread. We're going Ravens money line on the Patreon page. It pays off. Yes. Sometimes it is risky because there are upsets. There are special moments in the NFL. We know that. And when we get into this game, we have to understand that there will be a bad beat. But on the Patreon page this year, has there been a bad beat on the money line? I haven't seen one. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I've been working them in more as the games have worn down, as we've gotten less options and we got into the playoffs in week 15, week 16, week 17. I've utilized them more due to the unpredictability. And we've been doing good. Here we go. Gerald Nichols, Ravens will win. Nick Musial, what are your thoughts on Vrabel not going for the 4th and 2 in Baltimore territory and how it shaped that game? It did, my friend. You have a good eye. Will Lamar and co get behind 2 scores early, force him to break it? I don't think they will. Ravens didn't start fast against the Titans. But if you look at their last 3-4 games of that regular season, they have been starting fast and they have been playing good football in the first half. That's something they didn't offer in the first half of the season. And you're right, because Mike Vrabel, listen, the scheme on defense is bad, and we can pick that apart for hours. We already know that, fellas and ladies. We can pick that apart for hours. I've been picking that apart since he was the Houston Texans defensive coordinator. But this is a good example of game management, and he just didn't do it. He just didn't do it. Like the Eagles coach, Doug Peterson, former Eagles coach, he's a guy, he would have definitely went for that, and he has balls of steel. That's just something Mike Vrabel doesn't possess. But if you got a good offensive line and Derrick Henry and you're at 4th and 2, why not? Why not? Especially when you have a really weak defense. I think Mike Vrabel overrates his defense and overrates his ability. Alex Maximovich, what about Gus Edwards over 35 rushing yards? I like the way you think. I think that could be a steal, actually. But if I was Harbaugh, I'm feeding Dobbins, and I'm feeding Dobbins some more. Ingram's out, correct? So, Alec, I like that pick with Gus Edwards if Ingram's out. If Ingram comes back to play, you better get the hell off of that. But yeah, Gus Edwards is sneaky good, my friend. Hank Johnson, shakalaka boom, money, money, money. Thank you, sir. And if I miss your questions, just send it again. And I have a moderator in the chat today. He's sending all the good questions to my Instagram that I have missed. So we'll see what he's up to. Okay. I don't know who sent this question, but here's one from the Instagram. Lawson, what do you think about the Rams plus 13.5 and the Ravens plus 9.5 on a 2-team parlay? Guys, I'm a little bit nervous about this Packers game. I think there's a lot of ways it can go. And I think one way it can go is the Packers blow them out and the Rams just run out of juice. If you look at how much juice, how much effort, how much brain power this Rams team has put into this run, dating back to like week 15, week 16. Remember after they lost to the Jets, things were looking pretty grim and dark. You wonder, are they going to run out of energy? Can my boy Cam Akers keep pounding it? Can he get over 150 yards again? This Green Bay front seven is vulnerable. Overall, I do like that. I love that Ravens plus 9.5. I would probably tease it with another game. If I had to do a 2-team teaser, I would probably tease it with Kansas City -3 and with Baltimore plus 9.5. So yeah, that's one I would do. That was a pretty good question. Gerald Nichols, no, put 2K on Adams touchdown. Listen, sir, I like the way you think. And that is the only legit target on this Green Bay offense. We know the Packers fans are going to come in and tell us about Lazard and how good he is. But in reality, there's one target. But Jalen Ramsey's on that other side. And that's the best corner in the game right now. Is there any doubts about it? I don't think there's any doubts about it. And the Rams play a lot of man-to-man. We'll see how the weather is. That is a little bit risky. I don't think it's worth that much money. Michael Cooper. Do you feel like Casey has been playing easy all year, not to blow people out? Yeah. I feel like we've seen some elements of cruise control from the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel like we have. And I don't think that is a wrong opinion to have, because that's kind of what the evidence stated. I've watched 11 Kansas City games in full, not live, but normally watch them on Mondays, just so I know what's going on with the best team in football. They do take their foot off the gas pedal, but they do it because they're up. And I'm going to segue into that Packers game, because that's the Packers' problem too. They'll play 2 great quarters and they'll play 2 terrible quarters. You saw it come back to bite them, almost come back to bite them against Carolina, and you saw it come back to bite them against a really, really bad Minnesota team at the moment when they played Minnesota early. So there are some concerns. RTE, Tampa Bay and Washington paid me big last week. I hit on both sides. Tampa -4, Washington. I don't like that stuff. I don't like that hedge betting stuff. It's good you got it, and that's fine. It's just at a certain point, the hedge betting kind of means you're kind of lost, in my opinion. And people like doing that take underdog, like really big underdogs. They like hedging that with someone. I'm not a big fan of it. But any way you can do it is good. Tough puppy. How many passing yards and touchdowns will Allen have? I think Allen will have 1 passing touchdown, and I believe he will have probably in that 280 to 310 passing yards. I'd go closer. I'd go like a 295, 300 from him. This Ravens secondary is good, man. And this Ravens defense is so much better than last year. And the Ravens play really good red zone defense. We'll see what the Bills have in store. I think only 1 passing touchdown from Josh Allen, if you want my bold pick. The Bears offense sucks, correct. Here we go. One question. Who has the better kicker, Browns or Chiefs? Chiefs. Chiefs have the better kicker. And plus, he's used to kicking at Arrowhead. I'm not saying Arrowhead's like Heinz Field in terms of kicking. We know Heinz Field is the worst place to kick in this league. But Arrowhead is a tricky place to kick, especially in January, especially when that wind starts going. I mean, if you look at the way that stadium's shaped, it kind of like siphons and sucks air in like the old Meadowlands. So I would say the Chiefs have the kicker advantage, especially since that game will take place at Arrowhead. Okay, I'm working through the questions. Steven Rasby, Sampion versus Piranha. Who would you take start soon? I would go a draw in that one, or Piranha plus 0.5. Sampion is the better team, but they're playing absolute terribly now. I wanted to put that one on there, but I wasn't able to. I just couldn't pull the trigger. Jay Andrade. Lawson, Jay Andrade. Lawson, what do you think of the Browns plus 17? I like it. I don't want you putting like the whole roost. I don't want you putting the whole Sunday roost on it. I want you to have lots of options. I want you to have maybe a few teasers if you're going to be teasing games like that. Yeah, I like it in theory, but we have to understand this is the playoffs, and the Chiefs can put up 17 points in 5 minutes, as the Houston Texans last year. Browns are a lock. Can you come on and tell us why? Can you come on and tell us why the Browns are a lock? I would love to hear your opinion. Here we go. Anonymous me. Money. Glad you finally on the Saints. Been a while. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and I haven't been actively betting against the Saints, but I have been staying away from their games all year. I wonder if I even did bet a Saints game this year. I'm trying to think. But yeah, listen, and my point still stands about the Saints. I don't think they're an elite team. I think they're a pretty damn good team. And to be fair, I don't think there is any elite team in NFC this year. When I look at the AFC, I see 2 elite teams for sure. Maybe a third, because the way the Ravens are built for the playoffs, and if Lamar gets humming and the way that defense gets going, that's an elite team. Like, I would say the Ravens are better than the Saints, Bills are better than the Saints, Chiefs are better than the Saints. It will be interesting to watch if we do get that Saints Packers game in the NFC Championship. I would probably have to go with the Saints, but let's not look ahead. Let's show respect to Tom Brady. JJ Croc, I wish you did basketball. I absolutely love your vids and streams, brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I was in I was in a popular island. It's in Brazil, but it's like an island in the Atlantic. It has like a Caribbean vibe, and I met this guy, and he's been betting NBA professionally for 15 years, and that's how he moved out of the United States, and that's how he moved there. So of course I ended up having a conversation with him, and he wants to come on. He doesn't want anyone to know his identity. He doesn't want anything like that, but he says he wants to come on and give us picks. If that sounds good to you guys, then fine. This is a man I have trusted. Sometimes he'll call me up with an NBA one, like maybe like 3 times a month. He'll be like, yo, bro, like if you don't bet this, Lawson, you need to just hang it up. You need to hang up the gambling. So yeah, he's one man. I will take his advice. And there's maybe only 2 or 3 gamblers in the world, and he's one of them. So I was thinking about having him on. But the NBA is hard to time. Like I'll end up getting like 400 views on the video unless there's a lot of interest. If we can get 1,000 views on an NBA video, I'll do it. I'll get them on. Genus Bartsiak. Most likely to score TD for Green Bay. Aaron Jones. And then also maybe if you want a long shot bet, Lazard. I like making fun of him, and he has a lot of work to do, but he is a big target and he makes catches in space, in little spaces. He can take and absorb a hit. So I really like Lazard in red zone situations. And I think Davante Adams against Jalen Ramsey one-on-one, especially in the red zone, is a trap. If you're betting Davante Adams to get that, I would not bet against Jalen Ramsey, especially in the red zone where he gets to put his paws on him and be physical. Like Davante Adams isn't Julio Jones. He isn't a receiver that absorbs contact really well. And you know what Jalen Ramsey can do. I've seen him not let guys off the line. So that's something to keep into. Psychotic Cam Akers anytime touchdown scorer -185. I don't like those odds, but I like the proposition. I just don't like the odds. I do not like those odds. If you're betting that straight out, I would say just lay the hell off of it. But if you're putting that on a parlay, yes, sir. ABG ball game. Casey going to blow the Browns out. Yeah, it's certainly a real possibility. Let me go check the Instagram. What are your safest bets for the week? I'll give out one. Ravens +3. Now that moved to +3, it gives me a little bit of confidence. It gives me a little bit of self-assuredness, and we can watch that game with a little bit more comfort. Okay, guys, make sure you hit the like button. There's 180 of us in here now. Hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. You got to help me out with this YouTube algorithm. It's the least we can do. Just make sure you come in and pop that like button. And then I'll have the 14 guys who come in every video and hit the dislike button. It's the same 14, 17 guys. I'll get like 800 likes, and then you'll see like 14 dislikes. And literally, it's the same guys every video. It's like clockwork. It's actually funny. Yeah. Aaron Jones probably most likely to score, but I'm sure the odds for that aren't going to be all that great. And the Rams have a really good run defense, so you could be playing with fire, brother. Okay. What's up? Got people in the house. Tucker is the best kicker in the playoffs. Yeah. We saw him miss one last week, but I think it's a fluke, right? It looked like he struck it good, and it really wasn't an egregious miss. I mean, we've seen so many egregious misses in the league this year. Tucker is an absolute godsend to have as your field goal kicker, and it's a real advantage. When you go to Ralph Wilson, that it's going to be windy, it's going to be cold, it's not easy conditions. You're going to need to make field goals. The Ravens got a great red zone defense, so I think they'll hold the Bills to a few field goals. I don't think the Bills field goal kickers are that good. I think Tucker is another reason why I'm sliding over here to the Ravens. Good point on that comment. Jordan Gallagher, what's your favorite soccer league to bet on? Brazil. I bet Libertadores. I do bet a little bit of Bundesliga and Premier League. I've been watching more now that the NFL season is winding down. If you join on the Patreon, you'll see a lot of Brazilian league, but then I'll be transitioning to Europe because they'll have a little vacation. Paco Mano 808 Copa del Rey starts tomorrow, Lawson. Time to switch it up. I will be watching. I love my La Liga. A reason why I love Brazilian soccer is because it's very technical, lots of dribbling. It's not like the Premier League where they run up and down, and that's all they do. Yeah, so I like La Liga. Nothing against La Liga, and Copa del Rey is has beautiful history to it. Bill McDonald, don't bet against TB12. Sir, that is always good, cognizant advice to give. But Bill, maybe this isn't about Brady as much as we think. Maybe it isn't. Okay, Bruce Arians has fixed the game plans. Okay, they're running it more. They're using more max protect. Okay, I'll give him that. But Bill, don't you think Bruce Arians is a little bit of a liability against Sean Payton? Just a little bit, given Bruce Arians' history. Also, let's look at another factor, the factor that scared me off Tampa this week, Bill. The secondary of Tampa Bay is an absolute mess. They're playing schoolboy tear. It is absolutely terrible stuff. And I don't know if they're ready for a game like that. I don't think you can turn the light switch on. Of course, you can get pumped up. You can make adjustments, but it looks like you're getting beat because they just don't have enough talent back there. RTE, thank you for the hedge bet advice. I had wondered about it. The Tampa Bay Washington wasn't planned. The spread swung so huge. I bet early and forgot. Thanks, bro. Yeah, and you know what? It's not bad if it works. I just don't want you getting caught up and getting burned. I've seen people pull stuff like that. They're on a hot streak, then they start thinking they're invisible, and then they start trying to win the bet from two angles, and then my head just explodes because eventually you're going to get caught. I mean, it's like going into a boxing match or a fight against McGregor and you don't even put your hands up because you feel so confident. You're going to get bashed in the face eventually. Michael, man, Saints suck. I'm sick of the Saints, man. But it's our NFC, Mike. I mean, our NFC can't put out a good challenger. And I was saying earlier this video, my man, I was saying I'm looking at it like this. I think there's 3 elite teams in this league. You got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you might have the Packers. I think you got the Ravens now that the weather's getting cold and the weather's getting ugly. I don't know if the Saints are an elite team. I just don't think they are. I don't think there was ever an elite team in the NFC this year. Maybe Green Bay will come out and blow out the Rams and put a fist in my mouth. Before all the Goff injury stuff happened and the Wolford transition and the loss to the Jets, I was saying all year, I really feel like the Rams could possibly make a run in these playoffs. But I think maybe they might be just a little bit gassed out for this game. That was an emotional win last week. It was an emotional win week 17 for them against Arizona. Maybe they don't have enough juice left. We'll see. Okay. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go check the Instagram. Okay. Would you rather take a 7-point teaser of Bills plus 10 in Kansas City, Green Bay? Okay, we're talking in Kansas City. What are we talking about here with this question? Okay, I would take the Bills plus 10 in Kansas City. Yes. Yeah, I would take the Bills in that question. To answer the guy's question, he worded it rather weird. Who will have the most rushing and pass reception yards for the Packers versus Rams, and how many? I think Lazard will. I think Lazard will come in with like a 78-yard game. I think Devontae Adams will get stuck. Devontae Adams is going to get 6 or 7 catches, but I think a lot of it's underneath. And I think Aaron Jones will get the boatload of the work. But good luck, Aaron Jones, running against this Rams front. Yeah, I love Rob. I love the dogs too. We gotta love the underdog, and this is how this channel started growing. We were just picking underdogs every single week, outright. But yeah, sometimes we have to understand, like Cinderella, she can't dance forever. Eventually, the dress has to go back on the mantle, the shoe or the stiletto has to be returned, and all things come to an end. Yeah, so okay, I'm getting to these questions. Belton, KC -3, Tampa Bay -10. What do you think? You mean Tampa Bay +10, I assume. Because Tampa Bay -10 would be suicidal in the Superdome. So we're gonna go with KC -3, Tampa Bay +10. I like the KC. I want to do the Tampa Bay one. I'm just wary about that due to that secondary. I'm really wary about it. And then there is always the Bruce Arians meltdown. And like I said about 5 minutes ago, yes, he's improved. Yes, the game plan has been better. It's been more fit for what I like. But even with that being said, Bruce Arians is a goddamn liability at the end of the day. We have to be real. Phil Alba, money. Thank you for all your picks, John, and helping us beating Vegas. It is my pleasure to beat Vegas. And seriously, you guys have been great this year. Like seriously, getting this page up to like 11K subscribers. Well, we're almost up to 12K now. It's just good stuff, man. And you guys support me on Patreon. You give me more time to do the work I love to do. So it's a team effort, man. And like I said, I'm not trying to be a brown noser, but you guys have honestly helped me with some picks this year too, with some of your knowledge. Because I do try to watch all the games, but I can't see everything. Philip Caridi, do you have a good read on the Ravens-Bills game? Love the content. Thank you, sir. Yes, I do have a good read on it. I think this Bills front seven comes to roost. I was saying it earlier in the year, and Josh Allen was just so dominant, it didn't even matter. Plus, the Bills, they didn't have the best schedule, right? I mean, we can go look it up what their strength of schedule was, but they weren't tested. I mean, they played in the AFC East against juggernaut offenses like the Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins. So that's 6 games right there against teams that really can't test you in the run game. Teams that don't line up and say, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to pound you physically. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? If I come in and pound you 35 times with my bull running back, what are you going to do about it? The Bills haven't played too many teams like that. And they're playing a team like that this weekend. And I do have a good read because look at the Ravens' attitude. They're pulling guards. They're pulling tackles. You're seeing counter trays. You're seeing read options. You're seeing Lamar Jackson run speed options. You're seeing Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown on play action. But this is a team that knows what they need to do. They know they need to come out and be more physical. When the Ravens were going into Tennessee, a lot of people said I was wrong. I made the separate video about the Ravens to win because that's how confident I was. And the Ravens did what they said they would. They were physical, they were nasty, they were mean. And that's how you have to play in the playoffs. And this Ravens defense is a lot better than people think. I've been saying it all year, but I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Patrick Quinn, the young linebacker, is a beast. And Calais Campbell, those two dudes have absolutely transformed this defense into a different unit. And the Ravens can cover. And then, Phil, I want you to look at that game film from the Colts last week. Cole Beasley's limping around on one leg. You got John Brown. He couldn't catch anything. And you have an absolute beast and king like Stephon Diggs. Sure. But I'm not feeling too confident with the Bills' periphery targets. Josh Allen has to do something special. And this, I don't have the Bills schedule in front of me, but I'm going to say something right now. I think this is the best defense Josh Allen will have faced up to this point. You can take it or leave it. We got a super chat, $20 super chat. Thank you, sir. Revenant wide receiver. You are so generous, my friend. I really appreciate it. Revenant says, always look forward to your vids. Good UFC vid, by the way. I'll share 2 of my time. What's your thoughts? 1, 10-point teaser Chiefs pick. So you want to bring that Chiefs down to a pick 'em. I'm good with it. Baltimore Buffalo over 40. I absolutely love that, sir. Tampa Bay New Orleans over 42. I like it. As long as Tampa Bay shows up to dance. So I think you should be good. Here's the second one. 7-point teaser. KC Cleveland over 50. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. KC -3. Yup. Baltimore plus 9.5. I love it. And Green Bay plus a point. A half a point. Yeah, I like it. I just don't like that KC Cleveland one, that over under. I know it probably will go over, but I would, why not just bring that Packers Rams, bring that up to 56 and go the under, unless you think it's going to turn into a shootout. That's one I think maybe you should consider adding, but those were 2 pretty good teasers. So I have no problem with it, my friend. Okay. Let's get it. Okay, here we go. I'm quite behind on the question, so be patient, guys. Joe Free, Lawson, I know you're on the Ravens, but I got to say, Buffalo Bills. Hey. Let's go, Buffalo. Yeah, listen, the Bills are a team with good qualities. And I did say we have to consider them an elite team this year. But the Ravens are an elite team that's peaking at the right time. And I know the chat's a little bit behind, so you didn't get to hear my full spiel. But there are lots of things adding up. Like, guys, I'll be honest. Last week, the Ravens was a money pick for me. I put it on my Patreon. Everyone can attest to it. It was on my Patreon. But when I saw that Monday, I was actually leaning towards the Titans. But then when you start withering away at the evidence, things just start adding up for the Ravens. And there are some problems with the Bills. It's all about the Bills front 7 this game. It's all about the Bills front 7. And this Ravens team is tough, they're nasty, and they have an attitude. So the Bills better come ready for a dogfight because they are a little bit of a finesse team. They can't run the ball. They don't stop the run all that well. So being a finesse team might be the wrong strategy against this Ravens team, especially the way they're throwing haymakers. Okay, I'm getting to the questions. What team? Genus says, what team will score the most points this week? I think the Chiefs will. And what team will score the least amount of points? It's between Tampa Bay and Cleveland. Let me go with Cleveland. Because this Chiefs defense is sneaky good at the right moments. They're a good situational defensive team. They're not like a good defensive team, but they're good in the red zone. They're good at getting strip sacks, and they're going to make Baker Mayfield throw the ball. That can't be a good recipe. Manuel Jimenez calling under on KC Cleveland. Yeah, my dude. I've been feeling that all week. That's one reason why I was talking about it on the teaser, because for some reason I feel under in that game. I don't have a lot of science, but I have. If you guys go check out the over-under video, I have really good reads on all the games. Oriole for you. Have all Patreon questions been answered? I don't think so, because I plan on doing a live stream for the Patreon users tomorrow. But let me see. Because I'm going live on Patreon I'm not going live on Patreon, but it's going to be a private chat for the Patreon viewers, a private live stream. I'm going to go live tomorrow at 11 a.m. At the very, so that's what I'm planning on doing. If you can't be there, just send me another message with your question. Let me see. What's your name on Patreon? I don't want you to give out your personal information. Okay, here's a question from Leo Belair on Patreon. Hey, Lawson, what's your level of confidence on the Ravens? 85, 90%. And now that it's up to +3, it makes me feel a lot better. When it was like +1.5, +1, I wasn't feeling all that good about it. But seriously, those 2 points are going to help. Yeah, I said Cleveland would cover. A lot of people missed on that one. I mean, I only did a separate video on it, and people were busting my balls saying I got that game wrong when I really didn't get it wrong, because I picked a game when it was like Cleveland like +3, and then of course it shot up to +6 the day after. So with the +6, I picked Cleveland. But yeah, and who would have thought Pittsburgh would have came out and played the way they did? That was a crazy game. Okay, let me see if I missed any in it. Do you have any first half spreads and over unders that catch your eye? Let me think. I got to bring those up separately. I got to bring that up separately because I haven't seen those. But that's a really good question, and I probably should dive into that. That is a really good question. Let me just bring that up real quick. Guys, I'm going to just get some water. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the videos, please. Please don't make me back. Just smash that like button. There's 205 of you guys in here. Smash the like button. I'll be back in 50 seconds. If you have another Pepsi, I can have. Yeah, they're out of the table. I know I'm recording. They're on the table out there. Go ahead. They're in the cold room. Okay. Yeah, near the couch. Okay, guys, thank you for waiting. Got some water. Let's get it. Let me get back in the rhythm here. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let me go to. Let's see if we can dig up these first half bats. Are you guys interested in the first half bats? Because I thought like that was a good question. I want to see if maybe something catches my eye. While that's loading up, I'll keep answering the questions. D-Bass James, I am a Patreon user. Where do we find the private link located for the live show tomorrow? I will post it tomorrow morning because I have to create the video. I have to make it like private on YouTube. So I have to figure out how the hell I'm going to do that. So it'll be up tomorrow morning. Don't you fret. But I will get to the questions tonight though for Patreon. I've been working through some of them. I planned on getting them all in Saturday morning, but yeah, we can do them tonight because the Patreon users come with good questions. So it's good for all of our brainstormings. Steve Martinez, what is your best parlay play for the weekend? I did the teaser video, my friend. Go watch that teaser video, Steve. I picked up the teaser video was legit. I had here's a teaser. I had Chiefs -3. I had Ravens +9.5. I had Packers in the pick 'em, and then I added 2 over/under teasers. I had Ravens Bills over 39.5. Then I had Packers Rams under 56. That's the parlay of the weekend. Or teaser. My parlay would be, I'm still thinking. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So appreciate it. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Thank you. Okay. Let me keep getting. Chuck Fu. Hello, John. Who is your all-in money play for this week? You're on my Patreon, correct? You'll find out, but I can't keep the secret too long. Ravens. I wouldn't say all in. I would say a decent above average bet on the Ravens this week. Sure. Yeah. Ravens would be that team. And I am looking, make sure you guys stay close to the Patreon. Like I am looking at maybe pulling the trigger to something to do with the Kansas City game. I don't know necessarily what I'll do. If I'll just go Chiefs money line, maybe I'll tease it down the Chiefs -3. Stay tuned for that. You'll get more information about that on the Patreon. Yeah. This is a bit foggy. I think it's because it's like a blue glass. Let's get it. Roy Bruh, yo Lawson, I'm putting big money on the Ravens. Yes, but make sure you do some other things to complement it. Like you guys know I'm not a big parlay guy. I always like my teasers. Those are usually where my parlays come from. But this is a week to spread it around. If you got a good feeling on some prop bets, you guys can throw me the prop bets too if you want my opinion on them. But last week on Patreon, I was hitting prop bets like crazy. So, yeah, and Xavier, I have a herd of around 14 or 15 who are really butthurt at me for whatever reason, and they go just like every video. It's not even like new people. That's the thing. These guys have been mad at me for like since the beginning of the year. But if you pick against people's teams, they get mad, and Brian Stevens, Mr. Lawson, -0.5 first quarter Green Bay. Would you bet it? Yeah, I like that. Like, listen, if this was week 14, if this was week 7, I would just say, Brian, no. But the fact that there's only 4 games this weekend, I think that's something you should consider. It's even money, right? It's kind of like how they do the spreads, like -120, -110, -130 at most, maybe +100. Is it in that type of range? If it's in that type of range, I absolutely love it. Yeah, and Packers are a team that starts fast. Akers to score 1 TD +140. I'd go with it. The Packers front 7 and defense overall is a lot better than last year, I think, but I still find that front 7 a little bit vulnerable. I don't know about you guys though. Here we go. Jeff O, Ravens is a big time money pick. Corey Silva says Ravens will lose. I can understand. I could understand both. Here we go. Ace Gaming, Lawson, you think the Packers cover the -6.5 spread? Yeah, but I picked the Packers to cover at -6. I still think they do. You guys know I love the Rams more than anyone. You guys know we have been using the Rams a lot this year. I've bet the Rams like 5-6 times this year. I'm like 4-1 when I bet them. So the Rams are always a team you have to consider and you have to have fear of, especially because of King Sean McVay. But I'm going to keep repeating myself. But you got to think maybe the Rams might be out of juice with Goff and this thumb, with Wolford already hurt, with just that big win against Arizona, that big win against Seattle. Now they go on the road again. Green Bay has a week to prepare. Maybe Green Bay starts rusty. I don't see it. I think Green Bay will start with at least a field goal. So I think Green Bay will take control of this game in the second half. But Rams have to run this. And that's the only reason why I'm a little bit scared of it. But if you put it but if you wanted to put my life on the line, I would have to say I would go with the Packers to cover. As much as that pains me, as much as I like this Rams team and I like this defense and I like McVay, and you guys know how much I like Cam Akers. I've been talking about him all year. You can't ignore Cam Akers. Antonio, is it true that 90% of the betting money is on the Packers in their game? Yeah, I believe so. Listen, you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt because a lot of people throw out stuff like that and it's not necessarily accurate. It's not necessarily something that can be tracked like they make it out to be when they go write those articles. But think about it. And Antonio, think about this year. Remember when we bet the Rams on Thursday night and I made it a money pick, and you guys know I hate betting Thursday night games. And it's just because the Patriots have a lot of fans because of the Brady era. So there's a lot of casual bettors in this game now. That's one thing you guys got to understand. When I first got into this game 5, 6, 7 years ago, dude, it was just hardcore people and degenerate gamblers. Now there's a lot of casuals, and they ruin our spreads too, by the way. They make our job even harder. So we have to work around the casuals and do what we need to do. With that being said, a lot of people like to think, oh, if one team gets 90% of the bets on them, then the game's going to be fixed. That stuff has to stop, and you guys got to cut that stuff out. Listen, NFL officiating is extremely subjective, so it's always going to be open up to interpretation, and simply, I don't like it. I saw some calls against the Bears last week that were absolutely horrendous, but I don't think Goodell was in the back room on a walkie-talkie telling the referees what to do. Okay, we got a bold guy here, Jarrett Hart. We got someone spitting flames right here. He's bold. Jarrett Hart, save this comment as well, Lawson. All the underdogs will win this weekend. 2020 season will end with a bang. Well, one in it. Okay, come on. Oh, I listen. I don't see it. Like, you could pitch me a narrative that the Rams can get past the Packers. Of course, you could pitch me a narrative that the Ravens can get past the Bills. But I am finding it hard to find narratives in which Cleveland and Tampa can do this. And unless I see something different from this Tampa Bay secondary, I can't do it. But I will tell you one thing. And if you guys are interested in this, let me know. I am thinking about streaming this Tampa Saints game, putting it on the TV in my room and live betting it with you guys. I am thinking about doing that as a live stream. If you guys are interested, I'll do it. Messiah writes, do you play table games at the casino? I heard you used to play poker. Yes. I used to play a lot of Texas Hold'em. I was quite good at it, but that was like in a different period of my life. Like, cause I went to college, like on the border of New York and Canada. So I would just cross into Canada and go to the casinos and go to Montreal with my friends. And that's when I would do it. And there was a time when I actually like needed to make some money for myself. And I had to do the poker thing. I was doing that like every day for a good 2 months, and I was doing well, but I am not in love with it. One reason why I'm able to bring the passion here is because I absolutely love the NFL. This stuff's in my blood. Poker's fun. I would love to play with you guys. Would I want to go to a casino and play at this point? Not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun to play against someone you know, and then you can start trying to read their mind. You can start going psychological with it. I like Omaha too. I used to like that as well. Yeah, Matt. Cam Akers is just an overall good guy. He's a scrapper. He's always been doubted, and he's just absolutely phenomenal. And the thing that's amazing to me about Cam Akers is his cutting ability. And I know he's not on Gatorade commercials. I know he doesn't have commercials hyping him up like Todd Gurley does, but he's honestly such a big upgrade on Todd Gurley. I know Todd Gurley had that one MVP year, but Cam Akers has really saved the Rams season, and he's a guy no one's really talking about. Philip Wong. Hi, are you factoring weather into these picks? A little bit. Do you have information that I don't have? Because one thing I've learned about factoring in weather reports, I think it gets people off track. Yes, you have to do it sometimes. Yes, if you're getting 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, you better go check that over under again. Yes, you need to be diligent about that. But from someone who's been watching forecasts my whole life, on Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday morning, they'll say you're getting tons of snow on Sunday, and then Saturday night, the forecast completely changes. So I think placing bets solely based on weather is something you want to stay away from. I mean, of course, you got to factor in the cold. You have to factor in travel. You have to factor in these things. If you think it's going to be like a downpour of rain, of course, you have to factor these things. And we have to be high IQ about this. But I don't want you guys going overly stressing about it, because I don't think it helps you. It's something you should look at, but shouldn't be like a huge factor in it unless the weather is going to be extreme. And a lot of times they exaggerate how bad the weather is. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know if Josh Allen's going to be able to throw the ball over 30 yards because it's 30-mile-per-hour winds. 5 minutes later, I see him throw a 70-yard pass. It is what it is. No, Steve, stay the hell away from this Davante Adams one. Listen, the Rams are extremely good in the red zone. I don't know if he can get a touchdown, let alone two. And we have to listen. You can like him, you can love him, you can hate him. You don't have to like his attitude, but one thing we need to respect is Jalen Ramsey out there. When that man's on an island, he's on an absolute mission. He's on an absolute mission. Someone's asking, do you have any advice for new gamblers? Okay, let me give some advice for new gamblers. First thing is, watch as much film as possible. Second thing, second guess yourself, but don't lose your confidence. Third thing is, don't chase. If you have like a bad afternoon and you lose 2 games and there's a Sunday night game, don't bet that unless you have a read on it. And you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. And then you have to think long game. You have to think years. You have to think 2 years. You can't think like week to week, how am I going to get the biggest nut? And that would be my advice. Also, you got to get another sport. You got NFL. You guys don't have to pick soccer like me. You guys can pick NBA. You guys can pick UFC. But you guys see what I'm trying to do. And let me know what you thought of that UFC video, even if you guys hated it. I honestly want your brutal and honest feedback, because you guys have helped me build this station a lot. So you need another thing. You can't just rely on one sports league. You got to dip into different things. You need at least 2. And that's what I do. And I'm adding UFC to the repertoire. So that's where I'm at. And as for new gamblers, another thing is all it spreads. And here's another thing for for new gamblers. I can kind of tell the new gamblers. Like a lot of times, like remember when the Jets were playing the Bills and the Jets were plus 14.5, and I picked the Jets to cover and everyone flipped out and went crazy and acted like I was the worst thing ever, like I was a nuclear bomb or something trying to take money from people. Like that's one thing. In the NFL, most games are decided by one possession. So when you see +8, +9, +14, you have to take it seriously and you have to think about it. And listen, it's easy to hate on teams, but you have to see the good things in teams too. So with NFL, I always love the points. Another thing for new gamblers, learn Asian handicap if you're betting soccer. And that's what I would do. And then another thing for new gamblers, instead of doing the parlays, they're good, but don't bet a lot on parlays. Use parlays as a mental exercise. If you want to up the bets on parlays, either do 2-team parlays, which I'm not a huge fan of, or you can do like a 4, 5, 6-team teaser, and you can tease the points in your advantage. Watch my teaser video if you have questions about that. You will see what I'm doing there. It's hard to explain, but you'll get it real quick if you watch the teaser video. So that would be my advice. And my advice would be to stay disciplined. And sometimes you have to go all in. I went all in last week with Tampa Bay. Of course, I had some other bets in action too, but I went pretty high up with Tampa Bay. And I missed a super chat. Come on, man. I missed a super chat. How do I get back to it? Come on. I missed a super chat. Come on, man. I don't want to do that. Come on, man. 1 second. Let me try to go to the regular YouTube and get this super chat. I can't leave someone hanging who sent a super chat. 1 sec. Let me get to the stream on YouTube that's live right now. 1 second. Sorry about the delay, guys. I just want to see the super chat. Okay, hold up. Let me see. Okay, I got the super chat. Oh, thank you, Corey Silver. Thank you, Corey Silver. I really appreciate it, my man. I really appreciate the donation, and I really appreciate you guys who went over the Patreon. It has helped an awful lot. Okay. I don't read. Listen, I factor in my biases. When I did the UFC video last night, before I picked Hooker over Michael Chandler, I made it clear I absolutely can't stand Michael Chandler. But honestly, I don't have any malice against the Green Bay Packers. I enjoy watching Aaron "the Game" Rodgers play, and I have nothing against them. But I have a little bit of malice against the Packers organization, not because they're a rival of the Minnesota Vikings. It's because they let Mike McCarthy waste one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. They damn near wasted his career. So there's other reasons to have malice. And I did pick the Packers this week, right? I mean, I picked the Packers a lot. Okay, here we go. Lomar Swede, where is he reading the comments from? I'm reading them from the chat section. I just get a little bit behind because you guys are participating really well. Bisha, hi, do you think the league is scripted? I see you got a Croatian flag. Gotta love Croatians. Croatians are awesome people. And if there's a place I want to visit in Europe, it would be either Portugal or Croatia. As for that, I don't think it's necessarily scripted, but sometimes I think some players get favorable calls. Like you're going to see Mahomes and Brady get better calls because they sell more. Like, you know how big that Breeze Brady game's going to be? You want the elite quarterbacks, and that's how the NFL makes their money. Michael Cooper, will there be any soccer bets this weekend? Of course. You know they're coming on Patreon. Hector Perez. What's up, big man? I'm churning in. How do you feel, in your opinion, about Hector, I like the Chiefs money line. Now the odds aren't that great, but I'll say this. I don't think it's a slam dunk like Tampa Bay last week. Yes, I would bet the Chiefs money line. Yes, I would feel really damn good about it. But last week with Tampa, I was 100% sure. I'm responsible for 670 people on my Patreon. And some people use these literally to pay bills because of the way the economy is. That's just the way it is, and we're not going to change it, and I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. We have to do what we have to do. So when I put up one like that, it has to be 100%. I'm at like 96% with the Chiefs, 97, but not 100. So it will be difficult for me to put that one up on Patreon. I'm going to have to think about that tonight, and I'm going to have to sleep on it. Yeah, I agree with Jarrett. Like, there's so much more meat on the table this week. Like, let's get some different meat. Okay, here we go. Okay, I got it, Hector. I got it. And you have my Instagram. You know. I would always hit you up. I don't know who Vegas Dave is. People are asking about him in the live chat. He probably is a fraud if his name's Vegas Dave. That's cringe. Here we go. Okay. Leave your comments, hit the like button. Yeah, let's just take another break to go hit the like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Joe Free, can you tell me some Patreon info? Well, pretty much Patreon, you just literally pay me $5 a month, and I post every bet I make. I post NFL, I post a lot of soccer, and I will be posting MMA. And I have one expert who retired because he's so good at gambling NBA. He wants to feed me information for the site. So I might have some NBA there, but yeah, it's pretty much my soccer picks and NFL picks, and it's just $5 a month. So I know some people charge per pick, which is crazy. I don't want to charge you guys per pick. I literally want to just show you all the bets I make, and you guys can make of it what you will. Obviously the bets were good this year because I started with like 5 people in early September, and now we're up to 670. So Christopher, how much you up for the year? Are we talking soccer or NFL or a combination of both? With NFL, I'm up about, let me think, I'm up about 10, 11 G's. Could have been better. Could have been worse. NFL is volatile. So right now I'm at like 10, 11 with NFL, 10 G's. With soccer, I'm up about 7,500 so far this year. So it was a pretty good year. And last year I made a huge killing on the NFL. And then also there's future bets I haven't factored in. I really go heavy with the future bets during the preseason, and I get really good odds. So I'm waiting for some of those to play out. Then that could tick up upwards of 25 to 27. I'll have a future bet cashing in for a soccer league soon. That is a guaranteed to hit, and that'll add quite a bit to my soccer account. So it's been a good year. Chris, it's difficult to say the unit size because, I'm a disciplined guy. I'm not the most organized guy in the world. And I chase my feeling. Like last week with Tampa Bay, I put so much darn money on them, it was ridiculous. But because I knew it was 100% chance. But normally I bet between 200, 375. But if I see something I really like, I'm gonna up it. And then if I see something I really like and I lose it, I just keep doing the same things I'm doing, and I try not to worry about it. And I keep doing what I do, and I keep watching film. Lomar Swede. No, I don't live in Vegas. I live in New York. I do this all on the internet, luckily. I find casinos really, really overrated. Although they say you can get really great odds like on like Tuesday morning or Monday morning if you live in Vegas. You can do this professionally and not live in Vegas. Like I said, I know 3 people who do this professionally. They all literally live in islands or in countries like Brazil. Like, so yeah, so they end up moving, and you don't need to be in Vegas. Yeah, and Anthony, yeah, at a certain point, you have to chase your feelings, and you also have to weigh that with evidence. Like last week, my feeling, my gut was telling me to go with the Titans. But the more we talked about it, the more evidence I presented, the more after I did the video, Ravens versus Titans, I knew. Right after I did that video, I went and I made the bet, I put it on Patreon. The rest is history. That's what we have to do. Yeah, dude, someone's selling like, I don't even want to give the guy credit because selling your picks for $500, dude, that's like snake oil salesman type stuff. And I don't want to make enemies on here because people will report your channel and they will get us booted off. Yeah, 198 people watching, only 138 likes. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. If you're in your car, you have an excuse. Maybe if you're watching on an Xbox, you have an excuse. If you're on a phone, come on, man. That's like the easiest thing. Positive vibes. Am I wrong to feel the Packers will win straight up? No, you aren't. It's one I've been weighing all week, positive. It's one I've been weighing all week. Okay. Let me go to the Instagram. Thank you, Xavier, for sending these on Instagram, the ones I missed. For a teaser, would you rather bet on the Browns plus 20 or Chiefs pick 'em? Chiefs in the pick 'em for sure. People are looking for a future bet. Who would you take in Super Bowl predictions? What do you think the matchup for the Super Bowl will be? I think it will be Packers, Chiefs, or Packers, Ravens. There's probably a decent future bet for the Ravens for you to just bet the Ravens to get the Super Bowl. I think the Ravens can pull some shocks, but yeah, Chiefs, Packers. Here we go. Sean Smith, what's up, Sean? What's good, Jen? I'm trying to be safe this week. I took Saints, Packers, Chiefs money line. What do you think? Chiefs is good. Packers is good. Saints is good. It's just, yeah, it's not bad. I like the money line, but also you can abuse it. So normally I do like one a week. I have nothing against people doing 3 money lines a week. But you better get your bread up for that Chiefs bet because you got to go big in there. Don't go at all if you're picking them on the money line. And like I said, like the Tampa Bay one, why I went absolute ape shit with it last week was because I knew it was 100%. And you saw Tampa Bay play terrible and they still won. Okay, let me keep getting these questions. Do you bet on hockey at all? No, I don't. No, I don't. Philip Wong, do you stream during games? No, but I wanted your guys' opinion during this. I was thinking of live betting the Tampa Bay and New Orleans game, if anyone is interested. I was thinking about setting it up at the TV in my room. I was thinking about live streaming it and just chilling, and then we can look at the lines and we can discuss it as the game goes on. I think that would be really fun. But depends because people get into their zones. People like watching with their family or friends. But I actually think that would be awesome. If there's enough people interested, I'm definitely down to do that. Someone on Patreon suggested that, and I think it's a good idea. Here we go. I'm going to keep getting to the questions. If I haven't got your questions, excuse me. I'm doing my best to get to them. Yeah, smash that like button. Smash that like button. I mean, guys, it's important, man, because I'm competing against corporations at this point. I already passed like all the small YouTubers, and now I'm competing against people who are literally connected to corporations. Just hit the like button. Help out the small guy. Although we're absolute juggernauts in this bitch. Here we go. Okay, let me get to this. Some questions I might have missed. How do you feel about the Saints over under 4 sacks? I got them going under. I absolutely love the under in this. Saints over under 4 sacks. I think they get under. I could see them getting 2 or 3, but I can't see them pushing it all the way up to 4. Tampa's been using more max protection. They've been run pass balance more. And you see this Tampa Bay offensive line, they just play better if they get to go forward. And, you know, when I played football, I couldn't run, so I always was stuck on the offensive line. Listen, the best thing for an offensive lineman is to get him moving forward, get him moving downhill, and let him be the aggressor. And then you mix in the pass. If Tampa Bay throws this 50 times, yeah, there's going to be 4 sacks for the Saints. But I don't think Tampa will. I think they will play smarter. And if they don't play smart, they're going to get run out of here. This is the person who believes in Tampa more than anyone this year. But if they don't play smart football, if they don't get rid of the ball quick, they don't get the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, they're going to get ran out of that Superdome. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, especially with the way that secondary is playing. I absolutely love the under. That's a money pick. And Brady hasn't been taking a lot of sacks lately. Okay. I use the internet. I don't want to like throw it on here. Aluami. I don't want to throw it on here, but my bookie. I use that one. They should be paying me by now. Like seriously. I think I might have referred this year over 1,000 people to them. Brad Johnson, I'm in on the live game. All right. And I'm going to get my stuff logistically set up, and I think we can do that. And guys, follow me on Instagram. I don't post a lot, but I do post updates sometimes when I'm going live. Instagram at NFL Podcast 101. 1 second. Make sure you guys add me on Instagram too. And if you guys want to join the Patreon, the link is in the description. Hold up. Okay. Matt, I like Bovada, and I use them to bet my soccer because they literally have every odd on earth, but they banned me. I'm not going to come on here and say, oh, I won $2 million off of them. No, I started using them. I started with like a small bankroll of like 1K, and I kept winning bets, and I won like 14 soccer bets in a row. It was during just a crazy hot streak. We all have one once every year where everything you touch goes your way. I hit some NFL. I hit an NFL teaser too. Like I lost 2 soccer games straight after the 14-game winning streak. Then I hit like a huge NFL teaser, and then there's just like, yo, we're going to give you your money, but we're banning you. Okay. We're banning you. And so they banned me. So I took them to the cleaners a little bit, but it wasn't like anything crazy. Like it wasn't over 10K. Yeah, I wanted a good amount of money in a quick time period. I think they were worried because my betting percentage was really high. So they saw a sample size. I ended up getting up to 20, 25 bets on there. I think out of 25 bets, I hit like 19 or 20. So they just pulled the plug on me. So that will happen to you. It's just part of the game, my friend. But my bookies never did that to me. I had a big cash out for my bookie this year. It went well. I mean, they sent it in Bitcoin, and we got to do what we do, right? Craig K. John, can you explain why you are going the Ravens against the Bills? Anything changed from your opinion during the week? I thought more about it. And Lamar Jackson seems like he's on an absolute mission. And when you look at this Ravens team, what do you think of? What I think of, I think they're physical. I think they're nasty. I think this offensive line is ready to come in and dominate this Bills front seven. I have had problems with the Bills front seven all year. but they really haven't been tested. You look at these AFC East opponents they got, and you look at how good Josh Allen has been throwing during the regular season. They haven't been tested. They haven't been asked to stop a legit offensive line with a good running attack. I'm questioning if they can. I think they'll hold up decently, but I think eventually the Ravens will wear them down because the Ravens just have that attitude. And then you look at this Bills offense. Yes, the Bills offense is powerful. Yes, Josh Allen is playing like an MVP. But Patrick Quinn and Calais Campbell are absolute difference makers. And I mentioned them, one reason why I picked the Ravens over the Titans as well. But let's look at the Bills for a second. Did you guys watch that Colts game last week, my friends? Ladies and gentlemen, did you guys watch that Colts game? Cole Beasley is literally on one leg. Yes, he's still getting catches. Yes, he's still playing pretty good, but he's literally on one leg. John Brown can't catch anything. John Brown is an absolute cone out there, and we know what Stefon Diggs brings. We know Stefon Diggs is an exhilarating force that can absolutely change a game on its heels. We already know all that stuff, but the Bills, they don't run it enough, so we think they're going to supplement pounding it with Josh Allen. But this Ravens defense is a lot better than this Ravens defense of last year. And I think the Ravens will put one thing Josh Allen has always struggled against is when people get up in that double A gap blitz and they either fake the blitz or they come, and that's what you need to do to him. You need to get him uncomfortable. You need to blitz him. You need to play press man to man, and you need to put double coverage on the one Stefon Diggs. I think the Ravens will have a good game plan. They will run the ball better. They will be more physical. This is the playoffs. This is January. This is Buffalo. This is Ralph Wilson Stadium. If you tell me a team's going to stop the run better and run the ball better, you got to go with that team. And then you got to think, okay, will the Ravens take care of this ball better? And then you factor in the equation, you got the best field goal kicker in the league for the Ravens. Ravens +3, Craig. Ravens +3. Revenant wide receiver with another super chat. Thank you for the $10. And if I missed your chat, the easiest way to flag me down is to just send a super chat because they come up and they light up, so it's easy to find. Revenant sent $10. Thank you for your generosity, sir. You asking if we like to watch a football game with you? Absolutely. Green Bay to have the lead end of the first half and game +163. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like what you did. Let me actually write that down because I need to remember this. This might be something I share with my Patreon viewers because normally when a team is up at half, they tend to win. That's not the golden rule, but the Rams aren't an explosive offense. Okay, the Rams aren't the type of offense like if Green Bay comes in this, it goes in the half up 17-7. You don't think the Rams would be able to make that up and finish the game in the lead. So I absolutely love that. Plus the odds are good. I like it. I mean, of course, you would pair that with everything. You don't want it to be your bread and butter, but does it even need to? It doesn't even need to be the bread and butter for +163. Those are some pretty good odds, my man. That's a really good find. Good job. Kenny Dorsey 27. Are you taking Baltimore on the money line? Only my Patreon users will know. We'll see. I'm telling you right now that +3 is juicy. That +3 is juicy. Yo, what's up, LJ? What's up, LJ? How you been, my man? Okay, let's see what LJ's saying. I already laid Green Bay, Buffalo, Tampa Bay money line, all 3 future tickets. I'm trying to correlate bets. Yeah, and future bets are the best, man. And utilizing the futures is always good. David Hayter, teaser is a sucker bet. Well, not really. I mean, have you seen how many teasers we hit this year? I think I hit 5 this year. So it's pretty significant, but I understand what you're saying. I understand your premise about that. Okay, let me go to let me see. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Okay. Someone wants to put 2,000 on Travis Kelce touchdown. What do you think? No. That's irresponsible. Dude, that's irresponsible. Putting $2,000 on Travis Kelce to score a touchdown. It is really irresponsible. Like, I think he will, but I do think it is a little bit irresponsible because the Chiefs have so many targets. How Travis Kelce will probably score is on that, that tight end shovel pass they do, but they've ran it so much, you think the Browns would prepare for it in the red zone. And did I mention the Chiefs have a ton of targets? And we know Travis Kelce is their big box office guy in the red zone. I would prefer like an underdog bet, like a Sammy Watkins to get a touchdown. But yeah, 2,000 is too much for something like that. Come on now. But that's why I'm here. I hope the guy listened. Okay. Okay. Do you feel more comfortable betting over 46 or under 58 in the Tampa game? Let me see. Over 46. Over 46. Because if Tampa Bay makes it a game, this could turn into an old Wild West shootout. So that's what I would do, since it seems like he's doing a teaser. Okay, here we go. And for those of you who think the Buccaneers are going to win, why don't you come on the podcast? You guys don't even have to show your face and come on video. I just honestly want to hear why. Because you guys know I've been riding with Tampa Bay this year, and they won us a lot of money, so it was quite hard for me not to go with them. Make sure you hit that like button. Keep hitting the like button. I'll be here. I'll be here grinding. Robert Allen, John, if the Ravens get down more than a couple touchdowns, they are down because the Ravens have no pass attack. You are right. You are right. Rob, you're 100% right. But you could say that about a lot of teams. But like I said earlier in the show, look at the Ravens from like week 14, week 15. They start fast. They start high energy. I know the start against Tennessee wasn't the best, but they still ended up churning around that game. I think they were down 10-0, right? I think they're down 10-0 when they ended up churning that around. But I wouldn't want to do that against the Bills. So the Bills are no joke. But I don't think it will get too out of hand at the beginning because I don't know. There's just something off about this Bills offense. And the Bills put up a C+ game against the Colts. They're going to need a better performance. They're going to need to turn in a B+, B minimum performance to beat the Ravens. For those of you who did watch the Bills Colts game, did you really think it was all that great a performance by the Bills? Okay. Okay. Someone's asking, how do you feel about Cam Akers over 71 yards? Money. Well, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. It is only a prop bet, but I do like Cam Akers over 71. Cam Akers, he's going to get 20+ carries. And if he doesn't get 20+ carries, I'm going to have a problem with McVay. If the Packers get up 10 points, McVay has no choice. He has to keep Cam Akers involved in the game, and there comes the play action. If Cam Akers doesn't have a big game, the Rams are going to get blown out. But I think Cam Akers will come in and fight. Does that mean that he's going to lead them to an upset? No. But he can make this Rams team very dangerous. And they better give him the football. And he's also good in space on screen passes in the short pass game. Packers have some problems at linebacker still. I think Cam can exploit that also in the pass game, although the bet was about rushing yards. Ryan Parsons, do the Browns cover? I don't even have a good read on that, because the way the Chiefs let teams come back and cover makes you not want to bet it, right? It makes you want to bet the Browns, but Chiefs. I'm going. I don't even know. What did I can't even remember what I picked in the divisional round. My bad about that. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Jeff O says Bucks will win. I'm getting to the questions. Star Videos, Lawson, what we doing? We're making money, man. We're making money. I'm looking forward to this week coming up. I gotta, guys. I want to go longer if you guys are down for it. Since we have over 200 people in here, I want to go longer. I just need to get a little bit more water. Just give me 50 seconds, and we'll get right back to it. All right. So I'll be back 50 seconds, and while I'm gone, hit the like button. And I want to give a shout out to Xavier. He's sending me questions that I missed that are good. So appreciate you, Xavier, helping me out because I try to answer everyone's questions to the best of my ability. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get it. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. David Hayter says hard to beat 3 teams in a year. I completely agree, Dave. It's not an easy proposition, and me picking the Saints was no small feat. It took a lot of thinking because my instincts were, and I'll tell you one thing, man. I thought this spread was going to be higher. I thought it was going to be Tampa Bay plus 5.5, plus 6. I thought it could be something we could exploit, but no. Because a lot of people are just casual fans and they bet Brady either way. So that's one of the advents of all this legalized gambling. We get more casual money in the air, just shutting things down. Steve Al, can the Browns upset? I don't think so. And listen, Steve, they have the elements, right? They got the run game. They got the big offensive line. Stefanski likes to use play action. Jarvis Landry's an absolute beast. He'll catch a ball in traffic. He'll block for you. He'll run after the catch. I mean, those are some good elements. And then you got a top 10 defensive player in this league in Myles Garrett. But is there anyone to rush the passer with him? Olivier Vernon's banged up, but even if Olivier Vernon's healthy, he's not a dog anymore. Myles Garrett needs another dog to hunt with. And we're seeing Denzel Ward banged up in this Browns secondary. We don't know how healthy he's going to be, how ready he's going to be. So I think there's a lot of issues for this Browns team. Maybe the Colts come out rusty. Remember, after their bye week last year, they got matched up with Houston. Houston jumped out to a 20-0 lead, maybe even 24-0. Chiefs came back and won that easy. A lot of it was because of Bill Bryan's an absolute doofus, and the Texans have serious problems on defense. But a lot of it is because the Chiefs are no damn joke. and you don't want to underestimate them. Although I don't like the way the Chiefs were riding into the playoffs. Like, for instance, that Saints game, they completely outplayed them. They controlled every facet of the game. They really should have won by 17 to 20 to 24 points, yet they're only winning by 3. So that is a dangerous proposition in the playoffs if you're not putting teams away. Okay, let me get to the questions. Hit that like button. Yeah, and I'm going to ask this again. Sorry if you already heard this, if you've been with me the full way through. Did any of you guys check out the UFC video? Give me brutal, honest feedback about that. Did it suck? Did you like it? Is there anything I could do better? Do you think it's better if I go shorter? Just give me your feedback. Yeah, like Tampa Bay is the best rush defense in this league, and they deserve to be. It's not a statistic anomaly, but also maybe it is an anomaly. No, they're good against the run. I'm not going to bust balls, but why would you run it when you can just throw it against their secondary? I mean, Taylor Heineke last week for the no names was looking like a young Brett Favre. Kenny Dorsey, 27. Lawson, you have a Tampa Bay Super Bowl ticket. I know you want them to win. I do. But sometimes we need to face reality. I know, I do. I made a future bet for them to get to the Super Bowl. The rest of the future bets hit. Like, my future bets were really good this year. That was really the only one that left me scratching my head. That was the only problem. Yeah, no more Diet Coke. No more Diet Coke. Yeah. Yeah, I like Lasani Jones. I get what you're saying. And I actually did see they broke down the stats of this yesterday. It's not a biggest problem as you're saying, like losing 3 times to a team. It actually happens quite a bit in the league. But with that being said, it did give me a little breath of caution. And the Saints did choke last year against the Vikings. You remember that when they choked against the Vikings? When they're 8.5-point favorites at home? Hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Yeah, so. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Yeah, I'm okay. Everyone is picking the Bucs. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. And I'm the biggest Buccaneers better this whole year. Rode them through good times and bad times. It's just, I think eventually we have to know when to get off the train or get off the bus when it's going off a cliff. I mean, the Saints are vulnerable. I've been saying it all year, but they're who can the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cover? And I know Drew Brees throws a lot of short passes, but I know he won't work them like other quarterbacks deep, but there's just so many problems, like so many easy first downs. I went on about that game a lot today. Tyler Smith, Lawson, you're the man. Joining the Patreon, money. Let's get this again. You were spot on last weekend. Thank you. I try my best, man. I do my absolute best. Sometimes you're just not going to get the luck you need. Sometimes you make a bad pick. That's what we do here. I try to make the best picks possible, and over time, your money will go up. So it's been a really good year, man. Yeah, Chiefs don't blow out opponents. That's true. Penguins. Are we talking hockey, Alex? I couldn't tell you, man. I haven't watched the NHL game in 15 years. Okay, here we go. Loved it. Conor McGregor. Yeah, I thought it was good. I'm thinking for the next UFC one, I should go on solo and go like 12 to 15 minutes. But yeah, Penguins Garbo. Okay, here we go. Flyers. Well, yeah, I know a lot of people bet that NFL. Oh, here's a question on Patreon. Okay. Here we go. Howdy, John. May you ever be joyful, and may God richly bless you. What's your feeling on betting golf? I think golf would be very, very frustrating to bet. And I think it would almost be like playing the lottery, not to the extent of playing the lottery, but in a way, it is kind of like going to the roulette table because there's tons of no names that come in and win major tournaments. And there's crazy stuff that happens. Sometimes you'll see a top 5 player not even make a cut. I've never been a big golf guy, but I got nothing against it. I would be interested to hear you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be really interested to hear how you go about betting golf at a high level. I would understand betting tennis more because there's matchups. There's human against human. At a certain point, it feels like golf is human against nature, especially with how hard some of these courses are. Okay, we're talking about golf, and I saw like 10 people leave immediately. Zamora, thank you for the super chat, my guy. Zamora with the $2 super chat. 14 parlay. Browns plus 10. Not against it, but Rams plus 6.5. And fundamentals are there. I don't know if it plays out. I like the fundamentals of those 2 picks, but I don't think it plays out that way. New Orleans -3. I like it. Ravens plus 2.5. Yeah, but get that Ravens up to +3. You can do that easily. A lot of the bookies have changed it to +3. I mean, I'm always open for people to enlighten me. I mean, Daniel, if you want to enlighten me about it, feel free. You can send me a message on Instagram. Hello, Chuck. What's up, Chuck? Chuck's in the house. Bill McDonald. Yeah, Bill. I should do something like that, and I will make a. I don't want to make a guarantee yet because I got to get the logistics set up in my room because right now, my room doesn't have a cable box. My cable box is like in my living room, so I'll have to do it logistically. But I think I'll be able to do it down there. So I'm planning. I want to do some live betting on Tampa Bay, New Orleans, man. I want to live bet it and I want to see where it goes. It's just to have some fun, you know. Golf is only good for place betting. Makes sense. Brady is going to throw a pick. Yeah, Daniel. I will. I've back in the day, back in the old podcast, I used to like go live during Thursday night games. It was pretty fun. It was pretty tiring. It was actually back when I had like a teaching job and I'd have to wake up and I'd stay up to 12 o'clock talking about NFL. It absolutely killed me. But now, yeah, and I want to. And I think live betting's fun, and there's something mystical about it. There's something I've always really liked about it. It's really just rejuvenated the gambling scene, right? And a lot of people get into trouble at live betting but overall, I've had tons of success live betting. Sure, you get burned, but sometimes you're going to catch the chlamydia, right? You know, sometimes you just can't avoid it, but. Yeah, live betting's really good if you stay patient and if you catch it at the right time. I know when to walk away. I know where I want a line to be, like for this Tampa Bay game. I wanted it to be Tampa Bay +6. Vegas wasn't even close to giving it to me. So at a certain point, you just have to say, you got to walk away because I don't want to play by Vegas's rules. I want to play by my rules. I don't want them dictating every single pace. At the end of the day, Vegas will dictate these spreads. They dictate them. But, like a lot of the times, for instance, when I was thinking about the Cleveland-Kansas City game, I had it like 9-10 points. Vegas had the same thing. When I was thinking about Rams, I was thinking like 5-6 points. Vegas had the same thing. When I was thinking about Ravens, I was thinking about like +2. Vegas had the same thing. But for some reason, I'm 3-4 points off of Vegas on this Tampa Bay game, and I can't understand it. And I really can't. And like this is coming from someone who's been hitting Tampa Bay all year with the bats. I mean, so sometimes we got to know when to walk away, and that's a big part of live betting. Michael David, I taught high school social studies, then I taught special education in middle school down south. It was a good experience. I did well. It's just I have other dreams, and then it got a little bit crazy because I lived like about an hour from Miami, maybe two, actually two, depending on traffic. So I had a Brazilian girlfriend in Miami, and I would go visit her every weekend. And it wasn't like I was like going to nightclubs or doing anything crazy. And you guys already saw my other friend from Miami who I did the player props video with earlier in the year. But I would just end up spending so much time there. By the time Monday came around, I was just done after watching NFL, after placing bets. You guys know how that goes. I would be open to do it again, but I don't like working the 5 days a week, especially when I can make money betting. Preems Nation, Lawson, you play fantasy football? I used to be really into it. I kind of fell out of love with it. But I would not be opposed to us doing a fantasy football league next year for this channel, but only if it's for this channel. I used to do it with my boys, and they kind of fell out of the NFL. They just started working too much, and they just couldn't keep up with it. So, but yeah, I'm always down to play some fantasy football. I was playing fantasy football since I was like 8 years old. Ronald Hillman, under for all 4 NFL games in the parlay. I wouldn't go that far, but I think there's a good possibility we see some unders this week. So I like the way you're reading that. Rich Google. Chris Summers in the house. Chris says he's taking Rams money line, Buffalo money line, Cleveland. What's the RL? Tampa Bay money line. I assume Cleveland like against the spread. Let me think. Right? I don't know about all that. No, I don't bet. I don't bet college football, and I would never bet bets on Madden NFL. That's crazy. Back in the day, back in college, I used to hustle people with Madden and FIFA. I still can with FIFA and other soccer games because I've always been really good at them. That was the extent of me making money off video games. Okay. Okay, let me get back to the Instagram. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Someone asked for live betting tips. Okay, let me get to the live betting tips. You have to time it right, and you have to pick your place. What I mean is, a team can be down 10-0 in a game, like the Ravens and Titans. Think of last week. Now, it's easy to panic and just say, okay, Ravens have no chance. You have to pick your time when you're going to get the best odds. I imagine at that time, you probably could have got you probably could have got the Ravens like +4 or +5 once the Titans were up 10 points. And you have to pick your times, and you have to pick your change of possession times right. I like doing some at halftime, but I always do it after change of possession. And then we do our work beforehand. I know you guys do a lot of work before these games. If sometimes you can tell if a team doesn't show up, or you can tell they're physically outmatched, or you can tell they're not scheming right. But sometimes a team can be up 10-0, and it's not the other team's fault. They should start a little bit slow, and that's why you have to be patient. Patient is always the best option for this. And live betting, I love live betting soccer. I absolutely love it. NFL is a little bit trickier, only because there's so many people betting on it. So they always try to screw us. You'll get a good line. You'll go place the bet. They'll say, "Oh, the line is not available anymore." Anyone ever had that issue? That's the only problem with live betting. So you got to work around that, and you got to understand that. Okay, the times I normally bet are on the first quarter, halftime, and I don't really dabble too much in the second half. Or if I saw like earlier this year, I don't bet college football too much, but I did bet a few college football a few times. One was on a live bet. Clemson was getting beat like it was halftime. Boston College was up by like 21 points on them at half. I bet Clemson ended up coming good. But it's because we got to have that long-term thinking. And Clemson showed signs that at least they were showing up and at least they were active and ready to play. Those are the things you have to look for. I am working on a book. So I will get these ideas better thought out during the off season. I should have had the book done by Christmas season, but I'm working on it. I don't know how many of you guys read, but I think it would be a good gift for someone. I want to just make it like 120 pages of just how I exploit Vegas, and live betting will definitely be a chapter in there because live betting's only getting bigger. But yeah, and we have to be cautious when we bet, regardless, whether it's live, whether it's futures, whether it's the full game bet. Okay, we understand that. But with live betting, you always have to be extremely cautious because I've seen people go off the deep end with live betting. They get that one win on the live bet and it just activates something in their brain. It just activates something like an alcoholic. They say there's a gene for alcoholics, a crap gene. Like it just hits once the alcohol hits, and like they're damn near instantly addicted. Not a scientist by any means, but that's what someone said to me, a smart person. So sometimes I think people get a little bit carried over with the live bet. They get like a huge nut off the live bet and they expect it to be easy. It's not easy. It's the same hard work we put in all week. And a lot of the work has to be done during the week, but you have to use your eyes and you have to be watching for the specific things. Like, for instance, when I'm watching this Bills Ravens game, and maybe I'll live bet, maybe I won't. Like I said, you always have to feel comfortable to walk away from a live bet. It's fine. It's fine to walk away. Don't kill yourself if you don't put a bet on that ends up coming true, because there's lots of other opportunities. That's why I mentioned you getting the second and third sport. That's why I've been going hard trying to incorporate a little bit of UFC, a little bit of soccer in this station, because I don't want you guys getting too desperate during the NFL seasons because we got plenty of other meat to hit. With that being said, man, we have to be very, very careful at live betting because I've seen it trigger things in people's head that you can't even explain. And okay, let me share a link because some people were asking about wanting to buy a t-shirt. I do have t-shirts for sale. Let me go post this 1 second. How do I get to my community? Okay, we're here. Thank you guys for being patient. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I'm gonna just post this link for the t-shirts here. So we'll see how we'll see if anyone gets one. But yeah, a book will be coming next year. It has to be done, and I think it'll help me too. Same with you guys have helped me win bets this year. Okay, this is the your hair is popping. I know I used conditioner today. That's why it's out of control. Yo, anytime, Daniel, and I try to get to all of your questions. Martin O'Sullivan, am I the only person from Ireland watching? Probably. I think we got a few. I know 7. I know 3 other dudes from Ireland who watch it, and I know 2 other dudes from the UK, but I think there's only like 10 of you guys. But yeah, Ireland's a great country. Ireland has great people, man. Really, really great people. Thank you for letting me know, Xavier. We're at 200, and that's good. And I want to get some more questions. And so, Nathan, thank you. I would definitely supply you with a good book, and you could even give it as a present to someone. Can I purchase it at Barnes and Nobles? No, I'll have it. I'll have it on Amazon. It'll be easy, or maybe I'll even self ship it myself. It'll be cheap too, because like same thing with the Patreon being $5. And earlier in the stream, we were talking about people charging like $100 per bet. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. No one's bet's that good. I know men who have made millions of dollars sports gambling and who've retired, who've taken care of families, who have created generational wealth with betting. Two guys specifically who are my friends. Dude, they hate that stuff because they know it's BS. And that's literally like a Ponzi scheme. Like, that's why I keep the Patreon at 5. Some people say I should raise it. People say, Lawson, you need to raise it. Your picks are worth more than this. But for me, man, it's like 5 is good. And then no one has an excuse not to pay. And I know how tough stuff is out here. Like, dude, so I'm not going to like overcharge people. So, it's just, I need to make money too, but also, with all of you guys supporting me, it only needs to be $5. Then I'm making a decent amount, and I spend a lot of the year in Brazil, so the money goes further. So I don't have to price gouge you like other people in America do, because at least I get to save money when I go to Brazil. Everything's expensive here, I know. Here we go. What moves do you think the Minnesota Vikings need to make this offseason? I think they need to get rid of Kirk Cousins, but they won't, because they really need to free up cap space. I assume they'll get rid of Rudolph, but hell, I thought they were getting rid of him 2 years ago. Then they give him a giant contract. The main goal in the Minnesota Vikings is they have to free up cap space, and they have to get another DN near Danielle Hunter. Those they got Ngakoue, then they just gave him away for peanuts. So pretty much, if the Vikings don't get this salary cap under control, they're going to stay in the same position. I don't feel all that bad about the Vikings, but then we always have to remember that Kirk Cousins is the starting quarterback, and Kirk Cousins is extremely limited, especially when you play the good teams. And we know how that is. Joey Diablo, thank you for commenting. Tasha says, I heard it's going to snow tomorrow in Buffalo. Yeah, but I live like 2 hours from Buffalo. It always snows here. It was, and sometimes you get a lot. Sometimes it's just some sprinkles. Yeah, I live like 2 hours from Buffalo near Syracuse. So it's, I've always lived here. And then I recently bought a house in Brazil, and that's probably where I'll be spending my life. I spend a lot of time there, like 5-6 months there a year. I love the United States, but I like the low cost of living. I like getting a big house where I can just walk to the beach and do the things I need to do and be around good people. That's the thing about the United States. Like, man, there's like a lot of good people here, but you wouldn't know it because everyone's so shy and everyone's so isolated. That's the only, So Yuri Owens, how far are the 49ers from contending again? I don't think far at all, Yuri. I think that's a good question, my man. And when I'm looking at the 49ers, the first thing we start with is Garoppolo, right? Quarterback. It's a quarterback driven league, right? But the elements are all there. You're going to get Bosa back healthy. You're going to get D Ford back healthy. As far as I know, you're going to get D Ford back. So you got a team that is really good in the trenches, that has a really good head coach, and they have a really good scheme. And if they can get one of these running backs to stay healthy, they will have one of the best rushing attacks in the league, hands down. Even the biggest 49ers hater will say that. But we got to see how Garoppolo develops, and also they need to give him another target. I'm not asking for anything special. Like, listen, you got Debo and you got Kittle, but you do need another target. We saw them try with Ayuk. The verdict's still out on Ayuk. They need to get another target in there. But the only thing holding the 49ers back is this quarterback position. and it really is a huge problem. Um, Little Wayne dropping the Packers hype song. You already know it's a lock now. Yeah, Little Wayne, man, Lil Wayne. I used to hate Lil Wayne, but I absolutely love Lil Wayne. Chuck Salings, why are you a Vikings fan? Why not a Bills fan? Because my dad, he was a Minnesota Vikings fan, and I started watching football with him like really young, like 4 or 5 years old. So that's how I got into the Vikings, and I've always loved them. Like I have a soft spot for the Bills. Like I've been to Ralph Wilson Stadium probably 10 plus times. Anytime the Vikings go there, I'll go there. I absolutely love the fans in Buffalo. It's a great atmosphere. Some of the fans are ignorant. Like for instance, they can't have cheerleaders anymore because they'll just yell like dirty stuff to cheerleaders. It's like, dude, not even like stuff like, oh, like that's great legs. Like they'll yell like the weirdest stuff ever. Yeah, well, people say I sound like I'm from Minnesota, but in my part of New York, we have a thing called like a valley accent. So I say my A's different. Like I'll say apple different if you guys can pick it up. Jam Bam. How about this? Baltimore beats Buffalo. Yeah, I think Baltimore does it. I feel more comfortable with the +3. I really like that it's up to +3 right now. But I think Baltimore wins the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. Yes, you have Josh Allen. Yes, you have Stephon Diggs, but Cole Beasley's hurt. John Brown sucks. There's a lot of factors in this game that can work against the Bills. And this Ravens defense is better than people think. And it's way better than last year. And I was even saying it earlier in the year. And someone like Calais Campbell isn't the sexiest name. He's not going to be on a commercial. Women in bikinis aren't going to go crazy when Calais Campbell walks in the room. But I'll tell you what, this man makes a difference. This man is an absolute revolutionary 5 technique in this league. He's the best player against the run in this league, in my opinion, outside of Aaron Donald. And that's an old Calais Campbell. We know the Ravens, they're going to need a rush to passer, but they got athletes like Judon. They can get a good speed rush, then they'll get a good push. I think they'll send a lot of Patrick Quinn up the middle on the blitz. And when we look at Lamar Jackson, man, how can we not like Lamar Jackson? We know he can't throw, but he's not afraid to throw it deep. He's not afraid to let his dudes make a play. You got Mark Andrews. You got Hollywood Brown. Those are 2 thoroughbreds. You don't need to beat Joe Montana to work it to them off play action. You need to just put the ball in the vicinity. Hollywood Brown will run under it like the Roadrunner, and Mark Andrews will snatch it like a giraffe snatches a leaf off the top of a tree. I mean, the Ravens have tons of talent, and they're peaking at the right time. They got the right mentality. They got the right head coach in the mix. And this is a big test for the Bills. The Bills had a C+ game against the Colts. You correct me if I'm wrong. But the Bills played a C+ game against the Colts. And if they come out and play like that again, I don't even think they can hang with the Ravens. I think we do see a little bit of a better Bills performance. But this game, we can talk about Lamar. We can talk about Dobbins. We can talk about this big, nasty offensive line of the Ravens against a small front 7 in Buffalo. But this Ravens defense is going to come to play. That's one reason why I definitely did it. Martin, see ya. Good night in Ireland. Stay safe, my guy. Are going live before the Packers game. I think I might go live. We'll see. If you're on my Patreon, you'll see me. I'm just doing a private Patreon live stream for them just to make sure I show my support, because they showed me support, and I think that'll be good. And so if you're on the Patreon, definitely you'll get the link to that. Okay, let me go check Instagram for more comments. How do you feel about Blake Bortles starting for the Rams? That is scary. That is a nightmare. And that's something you absolutely want to avoid betting on, because Blake Bortles is an absolute train wreck. Blake Bortles is nothing more than a train wreck, and he's a liability. Yeah, so Goff's playing, though. So if you're betting the Rams, you don't have to worry about that, luckily. luckily you don't have to worry about it. Who is the worst quarterback left in the playoffs and the best in your opinion? The best is Pat Mahomes. The worst, Goff. No. Baker Mayfield is the worst quarterback in the playoffs. Easy. We know Goff is hurt, so maybe he will look like the worst. And I know we're no fans of Goff. He has his problems, and a lot of his success comes from McVay's play action and McVay's just being an absolute beast and God systematically. But yeah, Baker has to be the worst quarterback. And listen, I want to hate on Pat Mahomes. I want to not like him because I saw how the NFL was hyping him up last year, giving him calls and trying to transfer this league over to him. You know, it's Brady's league. It was Peyton's league before. They're trying to do a nice little handoff to Mahomes, and he absolutely deserves it. I don't think star quarterbacks should get favorable calls, but you look at the way this dude plays, the sidearm angles, the deep ball, the thinking, the mobility. He doesn't use his mobility to run. He uses his mobility to slash your neck 75 yards deep and to completely change the game on its own. And listen, we know Pat Mahomes has the best targets in this league. No one has better targets than Pat Mahomes in this league. And it's been like that ever since he stepped foot on an NFL football field. But at a certain point, I've watched this kid wow and razzle and dazzle me so many times that you got to say he's better. You got to say he's better than Rodgers. You got to say he's better than Brady. But yeah, man, we got a lot of good quarterbacks in this weekend. I mean, what a time to be alive. You got Breeze, you got Brady, you got Mahomes, you got Lamar Jackson, you got the thoroughbred Josh Allen, and I didn't even mention Aaron the Game Rodgers yet. I mean, what a damn weekend if you like watching football. I mean, it is absolutely magnificent. Normally, sometimes in the playoffs, too many people are hurt, and you end up seeing like people like Connor Cook playing quarterback. Remember when the Raiders were like 12-4, and they got in the playoffs, and Connor Cook was playing. So we should be thankful. And one thing I want to remind you guys, like I did this with Peyton. I would just look for reasons to crap on Peyton Manning. But at the end of the day, we're going to miss them when they're gone. You can't replace Drew Brees. You can't replace Tom Brady. Thank God we got a dude like Pat Mahomes in this league to carry this torch forward. And Aaron the Game Rodgers looks like he has another 6-7 seasons in them. But these guys come around once in a generation. So we need to enjoy these guys, and that's why I'm so pumped for this Brady game. I just want to watch Brady rip it. Brady's arm is looking better than it did 5 years ago. Is it just me? But the velocity on the football, the accuracy, him pushing it deep, it just looks better, man. I mean, and you got this game, and yeah, I think New Orleans is going to win, but you got Tom Brady in the playoffs, do or die, man. It's not something you want to bet against. Magic can happen, and I don't like using the word magic too often, but Tom Brady has pulled so much magic in these playoffs. I understand why people are going towards Tampa Bay. The comebacks. Remember against the Falcons week 16 or week 15? Remember against the Falcons in the Super Bowl? I've seen this man come back so many times. It's just we got a good weekend of football coming up. I'm going to get to some questions. We're approaching 2 hours and 30 minutes. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I want to get in some more. I don't know when I'm going to go off. My energy is pretty high. I appreciate the subscribers, and I appreciate everyone. If it's your first time watching the show, make sure you subscribe, because you need to be with us at the beginning of next season, because I know all of us are up money this year. Anyone who's been watching this channel, and that's what I pride myself on. Chuck Fu, hey John, what's the one area that you don't trust Tampa Bay in secondary? That's the reason why I picked against them. Because listen, you can have bad secondaries, you can have average secondaries, but this secondary looks porous and they're not getting close to anyone. They don't even look competitive out there. Yeah, sure, you could say Todd Bowles is going to have a different game plan. Todd Bowles has something up his sleeve, but when you're making Taylor Heineke look like a young Brett Favre, that's where I hit the brake button. That's where I jump off the bus. That's where I go find another team to bat when Taylor Heineke's looking like Brett Favre out there with the no-names. Yeah, I think Brady's the best quarterback of all time. And Montana's an absolute beast. It's hard to compare generations, but at least with Brady, he played 4 or 5 years in this league where the rules weren't changed drastically from Montana's era. So that's why Brady's early years of stats aren't all that good. It was because the game was so different. Now Matt Stafford puts up like elite stats if you look at it from that perspective in history. But is Matt Stafford elite? Is Matt Ryan elite? You know, the way the game changed during those times has changed quarterback stats. Baltimore plus 10.5. I like it. KC -3. That's a pretty good teaser. That's a pretty good parlay. I like that. Tasha with Tampa Bay money line plus 143. That Tampa Bay money line should be plus 200. I mean, you guys who are putting your neck out there going with this should get rewarded a little bit much. I mean, that's just what I was saying about Vegas this year. Vegas during this game, everything else was predictable to me. I knew the spread, but that Tampa Bay one damn near surprised me. Okay, here we go. Do you think that the front 4 of Tampa Bay can get enough pressure on Drew Brees? I do, but are they going to get help? Is the secondary going to come to play? Is Todd Bowles going to send some blitzes? Is Todd Bowles going to do some exotic schemes? A lot of this is on Todd Bowles to create and work with players because this secondary doesn't have a lot of talent. So in order for Tampa Bay to win, that's a great question. They need to have a ruthless pass rush. Tampa Bay has a pretty good pass rush, but it's nothing elite. It's nothing to write home about. But that is an interesting matchup to watch. And you have to remember the Saints have a damn good offensive line. Saints have a really good offensive line. Isaiah, dog, you look like you haven't got sleep. Stay up, G. Yeah, I didn't sleep good last night. But yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm high energy today. I mean, I'm at 2 hours and 30 minutes. But anyone who's been here since the beginning knows I was high energy and ready to go. You guys bring the energy, I match it. Good energy in this chat today. And make sure you pound that like button, guys. I'm gonna go. It's 2 hours 30 minutes. My mouth feels like a cotton mouth at this point. So make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Look out for me. I'm pretty sure I will be going live for that Tampa at New Orleans game. We can live bet and we can see what we can do. Hit the like button, share the videos. This is the best gambling show on the internet. Share the videos. Make sure you share those videos, man. Share them with your friends. Yo, take care, guys. Take care. Thank you guys for all the comments. Thank you guys for all the support. My man, Cash Money. He's going -10 with KC. See ya, guys. Yeah, Tampa needs to show up that secondary for sure.